What a beautiful day. I'm gonna have to start my day correctly by pounding some of these. You know what, I'm just gonna take one. It's nice and cold. They'll be in my refrigerator. We got a Nissan Juke over here. My mom just recently got in a car crash, so I picked this thing up and I'm just in the process of fixing it. So then that way she has a new car. But today, we need to get some work done inside this garage. We just got a fire going because it is very chilly in here. Fire came a little close to the camera. Ooh. We have our ICT Indy stuff, our CNC Indy parts here. The paint's dry. What do you guys think? How do you think it turned out? I think it looks like shit. But we're gonna put some paint on the other sides now, let it dry again, so then that way super undercoated. We have a lot of suspension parts here on the ground for this car. We gotta pull the whole front suspension out of it. We gotta pull the rear suspension out of it because we gotta put all those lift kit parts in. We dropped out the factory subframe. This one actually looks pretty good. It's not fantastic, but it looks pretty good. So what we're gonna do is gonna take out all these trailing arms. We're gonna reinstall this subframe, and then we're going to finish up lubricating all these pieces here. We're gonna install our new bushings. We're gonna put this rear end inside this car, everything except the struts, because I'm gonna be waiting for those to dry. And then we'll maybe pull the front end apart and start taking a look inside the car. So let's go paint those, and then we'll come back. So my cousin just bought this new tool. It's one of those infrared things that make the nuts glow red. And I'd like to give it a try. I think this is the size here we need. I haven't used it yet. It looks like he's used it, but it looks like it's all melted. I haven't tried any of these yet. I'm not even sure. I want to use it to undo a bolt that's on my Dodge. I have an air tank that I know is just full of water, and I'd like to use this to get the fitting out and then put a drain plug into it. This one here is actually making the bolt glow red because I can't get over top of the nut. Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. I think this tool would be pretty handy for exhausts. 110 volts. That's just glowing red. I think that tool works pretty good, but there's only 3 kind of instructions, but there should have been a 4th one that the sockets get unbelievably hot. So I just burnt the whole palm out of my hand on a 19 mil deep socket. That kind of sucked. Got them off. I like it. Doesn't replace a torch, but for exhaust, we're in tight places. I bet you that thing's pretty handy. These are 1/2-inch bolts. Well, they're probably metric, but they're 19 mil heads, so they're a half decent size. And they seem to get it pretty hot. It was glowing hot and burnt my hand. Let's pull all the suspension apart, and then we'll get this rear end all ready to go up in here. We'll get it all, the e-brakes cut out of the way, all the brake lines and gas lines we don't want all out of the way, and go from there. It's not perfect by any means, but it's a rear subframe. Now, you guys know I'm a very, very firm believer in anti-seize, but unfortunately I can't find my anti-seize. I found some contact cement for PVC piping, but I don't think it's going to do the same thing we want. So we have a can of white lithium grease. Spray everything down. Honestly, guys, you gotta prepare that everything has to come back apart. If I'm at the demolition derby and I have to take this thing apart, I don't want any hiccups. I want it to come apart on the spot right when I want it to. So there's a couple things that I do to prepare. One is when I take stuff apart, I put white lithium grease. Rules say the rubber body mounts must go back in, so I'm just going to put those back on there. Okay, we're going to get this rear subframe all hanging again. I got to clean up some of the bolts that I broke off inside the sway bar links so we can put all that back on. But yeah, it's coming along. Make sure that you guys put oil, anti-seize on your bolts. Oh. That's the whole reason why we're taking this apart, is so that we know that when we want to take it apart at the demolition derby, because we break a trailing arm, we break any of these arms back here, we can take this all apart in a matter of minutes. That's what you want. So we have this one here, all anti-seize, taken apart and put back together. But this one here will not come apart. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the grinder and cut off the nut. And we're going to try to cut it off here because the nut's off on this side. It just will not come out. So you know what, the arm's kind of garbage. It's not bad. I'm going to keep the arm, Zach. Don't do it. Don't cut the arm off. It's still, in a pinch, that will work. It's not ideal, but it's going to work. So we're just going to cut the mini grinder here and here, and then pound out this bushing. And then we're going to install our new bushings, which are just regular old trailer bushings. Just might have to shave them down just a bit to get them in there, but that's fine. I'm fine with the extra play, you guys know that. Guess what I just found? That's right. Time to goop her in there nice and good. Oh yeah, you like that, don't you? Get in there, make it so that everything turns. So I've lubricated everything up. I have everything loose. I got new trailing arms, not new. Just off a new other car in the backyard. So if you guys don't know, trailing arm bolts come in from the gas tank side, and some of you may think that that's not right and you should change it. But how about this? Once the back end of your car gets all mangled up, you're not going to be able to slide those bolts out because they're going to hit your spare tire carrier. Yes, you can jack your spare tire carrier up, but if anything goes wrong, you can just stick a wrench on that and your impact on the other side and wheel her out. This arm here is bent, so I'm actually going to change this arm out because I have everything loose with a different one. The great thing about being able to have these bolts come apart like this is that at the it's a different length? No way. That's a mile and a half shorter. What did I do wrong there? I think I put old body trailing arms in this thing. Did I put old body trailing arms in it? Oh shit, I did! It sticks out like a mile and a half. Okay, so these trailing arms are the wrong arms. Let's go get the right arms. Shit. So we didn't get as much done as we wanted to. To be honest, we didn't really get a whole lot done. I was hoping to get a lot more than that done. We got these ones soaking. I'm going to fill it back up just like I have that one filled up so we can take these ones apart and have spare ones at the demolition derby. I like to bring a lot of spare parts, so if I can have all the trailing arms apart and then all the bolts there, all these off, new bushings in the bottoms, that kind of stuff would be nice. These bushings here are not a direct fit, so the links kind of go inside of there. Not perfect, but it works. We got all these ones in. Not perfect, but it works. We did break off all the sway bar bushing bolts, so we're going to take those into work and drill and top them out, maybe use a little bit of heat to help get them out. Yeah, other than that, it seems to be going pretty good. We got the rear struts out, so we can start putting the strut lifters on the back of this. Indy CNC is the company that makes the strut lifters. But yeah, that's about all we have time for today, unfortunately. Got a call, got to go help out a buddy, and then I got distracted a bit. A buddy's trying to sell me some tires, and prices are different than what he said now that he ordered them, and then the tire tread's different than the ones he sent me in a photo, so I'm a little upset about it, but we'll have to see what tires I get. Hopefully it's the ones I want. We'll have to see which ones I get, though. But we'll be back here later on Zach's workshop.